Hi guys, so today I will be ranking every Chapter 2 location. There is 37 total locations, starting from Chapter 2 Season 1 to Chapter 2 Season 8. So let's get straight into the video. At number 37, Upper Coral Castle. Upper Coral Castle at number 37 is just the worst location ever. People can shoot you from the sides of Coral Castle. You're basically just like out in the middle of nowhere. There's basically no chests in Coral Castle. There's nothing there. It's completely empty. At number 36, I put Rickety Rig. I put Rickety Rig at number 36 because it's just very boring. There's nothing there. There's very few chests. It's right at the bottom left corner of the map. It's just not a great location at all. So that's number 30. At number 35, I put Colossal Crops. I put Colossal Crops at number 35 for one reason and one reason only. It's so ugly. No, but seriously. Very few chests, bad amount of loot, just not good at all. It looks horrible. It's just, I hate it. At number 34, I put Boony Burbs. You may be thinking, well, it's not that bad, really. But think again, it really is bad. It's just like some sort of remastered version of Tilted Towers and Salty Springs. It's like Salty Towers, but just very, very ugly looking. It looks horrible. It's just not good at all. Yeah, it's basically the same reason as Colossal Crops. At number 33, I put The Convergence. The Convergence, you might not remember what The Convergence was, but it was right at the end of Chapter 2, Season 8. And it was right in the middle of it. It basically, like, you couldn't get any mats from it. Because it was basically indestructible. There was, once again, very few chests. There was this bouncy floor on the bottom, I remember. People used to call it Cube City. At number 32, I put Stealthy Stronghold. You may be thinking, what Stealthy Stronghold? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, it's not. I remembered exactly what Stealthy Stronghold is. But back in Chapter 2, Season 5, it had the Predator in it. Which, if you remember the Predator, it had a terrible mythic. All it was this cloaking device, which didn't even make it invisible. So, yeah. It did have quite a lot of mats, though. But unfortunately, it was at the top left corner of the map. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And number 31, you may be surprised at this, but I put the Spire. Why do I think you would be surprised? Because I put it actually quite high up in the list. You're wondering, well, what do you mean by that? Because 31, I think 31 is like pretty mid location. But I think it had quite a lot of loot. But unfortunately, well, at the start of Chapter 2, Season 6, it had the what's that? The Mythic Primal Shotgun. But for some reason, they removed it and replaced it with the Recycler. And then nearer the end of that season, they replaced it again and replaced it with Raz, and he had the Mythic Boom Bow, which was horrific. So, yeah. At number 30, I put Colossal Colosseum. I put Colossal Colosseum here because the walls were completely indestructible, so there was only like one way out, which a lot of people were going that way because yeah, it was the only way. It did have quite a bit of loot though, I seem to remember. The middle was very cool, but it was very wide open. So yeah. And number 29, I put Catty Corner. You might be surprised at Catty Corner being at number 29. You're probably thinking it would be in top 10. To be honest, I hated the charged shotgun. But I actually did quite like the shockwave launcher. That was pretty cool. But Catty Corner was basically empty. It was only a fuel station and this like container place, whatever it was called again. It just wasn't that good, really. It didn't have too much loot. Oh, it had the vault, yes. It did have the vault. The vault was pretty cool, but yeah, that's all I really have to say about Kaikon. And number 28, I put Craggy Cliffs. You're probably not surprised at Craggy Cliffs being here, but it was just boring. Nothing too, like, it was way too far away from the middle. It didn't have too many chests. The fish restaurant was pretty cool though. That was, yeah, I love that. It had quite a few boats and cars though, so yeah, that's pretty cool. I remember in Chapter 2, Season 5, I think it was, it had Remedy in, which sold the exotic chuck cannon, which was pretty cool, so yeah. And number 27, I put Dirty Docks. I just really do not like Dirty Docks. I don't know what it is, but I just really do not like it. It's right at the far right of the map. But I mean, you could get a car there. But I mean, there wasn't very many cars there. The main car you really got from there was the Mud Flap, which is the big truck, which was very slow, and I feel like the trucks ran out of fuel very quickly. But it didn't have too many chests. It did have a few boats though, so you can easily get out of any situations. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And number 26, I put the rig. I put the rig here, for one reason. Like Rickety Rig, it did not have a lot of loot. It was right at the bottom left corner of the map. The one redeeming factor is it had the mythic boom bow, which wasn't even that good. But it did have the vault. The vault was great because it had quite a lot of loot in. So, yeah. And number 25, I put Sludgy Swamp. I put Sludgy Swamp here because it didn't have any slurp in it at all, so there was really no point in landing there. It did have quite a lot of chests though there, I seem to remember. There wasn't very many cars there, so you couldn't easily get out of a situation. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. At number 24, I put the pyramid. I put the pyramid here because the amount of chests was very minimal. You couldn't loot there. The only redeeming factor about it was it was right in the middle, which was great. Yeah, having it right in the middle was amazing. But I didn't really land there that much back in the day because it was only in the game for a few days. So at number 23, I put Holly Hatchery. I put Holly Hatchery here because the box in the middle with like the zero gravity thing, it was just in the way. It wasn't fun. But if you accidentally left while too high up, left that box, yeah, you probably die of fall damage. Yeah, it was just very annoying. So yeah. And number 22, I put Wheaton Woods. I put Wheaton Woods here because it had tons of chests. It was quite close to the middle of the map, which was great. But it didn't have too many moving, like it didn't have too many cars or anything, but that's fine, you know, because it was still close to the middle of the map. It had tons of chests with those houses. Those houses were huge. It had tons of wood as well with all of those trees. There's so many trees there. So yeah. And number 21, I put the authority. I put the authority here because although it did have quite a lot of chests, well, no, it didn't really. The vault I'm talking about. But outside the vault, not a lot of chests. Jules was there, but the thing is about her, a drum gun was horrific. It was just so bad. So yeah. Oh, that wall around it, as well was like it wasn't easy to get out of. There was zip lines, but yeah, it still wasn't really easy to get out of. And number 20, I put the ruins. I put the ruins at number 20 because it had Midas in it, Shadow Midas, but his drum gun just like Jules, was absolutely horrific. It was horrible. Um, but one redeeming thing about the ruins, it didn't have that horrible big wall around it like the Authority had. So yeah, it had I don't know if it you know what? Yeah, stop yapping, just shut up. At number 19, I put the Fortilla. I put the Fortilla here because Ocean had quite a good um weapon if you killed her. She dropped the Mythic Ocean's burst assault rifle, which was amazing. She had the bottomless jug as well, which was great, but it took forever, so yeah, it took 15 seconds to heal you. It had a few chests as well with the vault. Yep, that's all I really have to say. Oh wait, it was right at the bottom left corner of the map, so I couldn't really put it any higher. Yeah. The next three I just put 3 farms. But in number 17, no, I mean sorry, in number 18, I put Corny Crops. I put Corny Crops at number 18 because it was a slightly worse version of Corny Complex. At number 17, I put Corny Complex because it was a slightly better version of Corny Crops. But anyways, I put Complex here because it had more loot than Corny Crops, and it was quite close to the middle of the map. It was great for loot. It had a few chests. Sloan was there as well, which you could kill her to get our burst. No, not our burst. Our pulse rifle, which was quite a good pulse rifle. It wasn't the overclocked pulse rifle, by the way. At number 16, I put Friendly Farm. I put Friendly Farm at number 16 because it was good. But that big house, that great big house, had tons of chests in it, which was amazing. It was like really good. It was also quite close to the middle of the map, just like Coney Crops and Coney Complex. So yeah, bye bye. At number 15, I put Slurpy Swamps. I put Slurpy Swamps at number 15 because it healed you quite a lot. It was great, but unfortunately it was at the bottom left corner of the map. But that's okay. It had tons of chests as well. Like there was loads of them there. You could get up to like full health and shield like instantly if you landed at Slurpy Swamp. Yeah, it had quite some cars so you can easily get out of there. But not too many, so yeah, it was hard to get out of a situation. At number 14, I might regret putting this so low, but I put the yacht. I put the yacht at number 14 because, you might be thinking, well, Meowth's Pew Pew rifle was pretty good. But if you don't remember, right at the end of Chapter 2, Season 2, Deadpool took over the yacht, which Deadpool made it absolutely horrific because his hand cannons were just so bad. But it was right in the top right corner of the map. But Steamy Stacks was there, so you could easily just use the stacks to get up and to rotate, which is great. So yeah. It also had quite a few chests there with the vault. So yeah. And that brings me to number 13 with Steamy Stacks. I put Steamy Stacks here because you could easily rotate with the actual stacks, and there was a few cars in the car park as well. It was at the top right corner of the map, but that's fine because, like I said, easy rotation. It had tons of chests there as well, like loads of them. Because there was like, I think there was 3 or 4 buildings there with tons of chests in. So yeah. And number 12, I might get roasted in the comments for this, but I put the grotto. You might be thinking, hold up, that's not right. But the thing is, even though the minigun was insane, it was really hard to get out the grotto. I know it had the wind pipe thingy to easily get out, which was great rotation, by the way. But it was like right underground, and people could easily shoot you from the walls on the outside and whatever. So yeah. At number 11, I think I put this way too high up, but I put Hunter's Haven. I put Hunter's Haven here because I've really got no idea. But I mean, it is very close to the middle of the map. It's just outside of Lazy Lake as well, so that's great. It had quite a few chests there. It had Lexa with the Storm Scout Sniper, which just sold you in Chapter 2, Season 5, which that was the only season it was in the game. And that's all I have to say about it. At number 10, I put Believer Beach. I put Believer Beach at number 10 because I thought Believer Beach was a great location. It was a slightly worse version than Steamy Stacks, Sweaty Sands, but I thought it was still great. It had tons of cars, it had so much loot, easy rotation, just great. It was right outside of Coral Castle, unfortunately, but you can easily fish with the fishing rods there. You can get a boat from there, which is great. You know what? I believe that beach was a great location. Go.
At number 9, I put Sweaty Sands. Sweaty Sands is a great location with tons of chests and loot. Unfortunately, Sweaty Sands is at the top left corner of the map, but it has quite a few cars, so you can easily escape the storm.
I let my brother have a cameo there. But anyways, at number 8, I put Holly Hedges. I put Holly Hedges at number 8 because Holly Hedges was a great location. It had tons of chests, like Sweaty Sands. It had quite a few chests. I've already said that. Quite a few cars, so you can easily rotate. So yeah, it was just amazing. It was right next to Sweaty Sands as well. Well, basically, anyways, I don't know. It was right next to Weeping Woods, which was amazing. And if you couldn't tell, I was looking at a map. So yeah. At number 7, I put Doomsdomain. You might be thinking, Doomsdomain is so high up, well, so low down. But you may be thinking, well, what I'm thinking is, it had Doom, Dr. Doom in it, which had his big ball thingy, whatever it's called again, or the mystical bomb. It had the arcane gauntlets, which were meh. But yeah, it had the vault as well, which had tons of loot. I think Pleasant Park in general just had tons of loot. So yeah, because that's what Doom's Domain is. At number 6, I put Salty Towers. I put Salty Towers at number 6 because Salty Towers had great loot. It was a combined version of two of my favourite locations, like Tilted Towers and Salty Springs, which was amazing. But one thing I did not like is the sand. I hated the sand there. It was just horrific. So yeah. At number 5, I put the shark. I put the shark at number 5 because it had Sky in it, which if you killed, she dropped the Scar, which was one of the best weapons in the game. Well, one of the best assault rifles. I don't know about weapons. She dropped her key card, which you could open the vault with. It was quite cool as well. It was a prison, and it had tons of chests in it, by the way, loads of them. I don't know how many exactly, but it had so many. It had a helicopter there as well. Some of the other Chapter 2 locations had helicopters. I think some of the Season 3 locations also had some, so yeah. At number 4, I put Misty Meadows. I put Misty Meadows at number 4 because I thought Misty Meadows was a great location. I thought it was amazing, actually. It had loads of chests. It reminded me a lot of Happy Hamlet in Season 7, which I loved. And it had tons of cars, so you can easily escape the storm. The dam was right next to it, which was amazing. Lazy Lake was right next to it. So, yeah. And that brings me to the next one. At number 3, I put Lazy Lake. I put Lazy Lake, yeah, because it had loads of chests. It had so many. It wasn't even funny how many it had. Yeah. It had quite a few cars as well, so you can easily escape the storm. I've said that a million times already. Um, it was basically right next to where the agency was. If you just got a car, drove down and went down that big waterfall. Yep, goodbye, see you later. And number two, I put the agency, and I put the agency here because Midas was there, which he dropped his drum gun, which was just absolutely diabolical. It just wiped anyone out in seconds, like less than a second, I should say. It was just dominating the whole lobby. He dropped his key card as well, which was the vault, which led you to the vault. Which, if you opened, it had tons of loot. It was right in the middle of the map. It was just amazing. And at number one, I put Stark Industries. I put Stark Industries here because Iron Man was there, which if you killed, he dropped his key card, and if you opened his vault, then it had tons of loot. He also dropped his Unibeam, which was amazing. He dropped his gauntlets, which was just diabolical, like I said about the Midas drum gun. It had tons of loot. It was absolutely massive, which do not show up that meme, please. No, 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 no. So yeah, I would like to thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Oh wait, I will be doing chapter 3, 4, and 5 versions of this video. I have already done a chapter 1 version of this video, so if you can please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.